Welcome to Montalegre, this stunning circuit high up in the Villarreal Mountains. This is the Friday evening paddock walk. We need to be quick because the weather is looming large over there. This is the start-finish straight, the longest of the year, and that's the commentary box on the top of that truck down at the end there. To start the paddock walk, this is a little bit pre-set up because we're going to have a quick chat with my lovely colleague Mike Chen.
There's nothing pre-set up. Nothing.
Wow, it's cold up here, isn't it?
About it. This has been completely pre-set up. Going to sit up there in the freezing cold, Chenny, and
you've just been watching WRC for hours.
I have been watching Rally TV. It's good rally this weekend.
Croppers is great, isn't it?
Bit of belting first day.
And it's been great this weekend as well. Championship, actually, this is not set up. I've got you a little, as it's the last round of the European Championship, and we've worked all year together so far. I've brought you a little present.
Should I open it now?
Yeah.
I didn't get you a present.
It's a little bit awkward, isn't it? But
I didn't get you a present, Hal.
I wrapped it myself. You can probably tell because the wrapping's poor.
I didn't get you a present. I'll have a little look in here to see if it's... Oh, this is going to come in handy this weekend.
We're going to need that, mate. Or you're going to need that. And I don't... For all of the stuff you've done in TV, I don't think you're prepared for a final round of Rallycross.
Not great at maths. There you go. Boom. I'm not great at maths, but it's a calculator.
I actually went and bought that for you.
Thank you, mate.
And I wrapped it.
Has it got... It's got big buttons as well.
It has, yeah.
It's like an old school calculator. That's lovely.
Oh, it's got batteries.
It's got batteries.
Brilliant.
As well. The reason why we're going to need this. Yeah, go on.
No, you.
No, you do it.
It's going to be tough.
Okay, I'll do it.
The three European Rallycross Championships conclude this weekend, round 4 of 4. RX2E, Niels Andersen currently leads the points race. He's a little bit ahead of Isaac Schukvist.
Yep.
Patrick O'Donovan's a little bit ahead of Yuri Belevsky as well. Realistically, if Niels and Patrick have good weekends, they sort of control their own destiny.
But Isaac was quicker than Niels in Belgium. He outscored him.
For sure, yeah. And we can go across every class quickly if you want to. But let's start with RX3 because, first of all, stunning performance from the home hero here, João Ribeiro, in Belgium a couple of weeks ago. There's nothing to choose between Niels Volland and João, and yeah, that's going to be a proper title fight. The pressure that João Ribeiro must feel when they're basically equal on points. I think they're 1 point apart, aren't they, coming here? Coming to your home round, and they've got massive support. I mean, the Portuguese give the RX3 drivers massive support. The pressure must be enormous, but the motivation to try and win a title at home must be huge as well.
It's brilliant, isn't it, coming into the final round separated by just 1 point. There's two ways of looking at this, I think, for João this weekend, because there's one way, which is like, I've got lots of home support. He's got all the fans who will be here cheering him on, but that also adds pressure. And the flip side is there's lots of local Portuguese competitors in your RX3, and they'll all be trying to help him along as well. So that puts pressure.
They also
on
want a result for themselves. They know the track, and there's so many variables.
But like ultimately, I think what Niels and the year that Niels and João have had this year has been phenomenal, and it's such a good way to end the season. Separated by 1 point, it's going to simply be whoever's quickest this weekend will win the championship. That's brilliant.
And do you know what I also like is that, as a driver, the first corners in Hungary and to a degree in Julius as well, but especially in Belgium, are frustrating because sometimes it's a bit of a lottery where you start, how you get forced into the wall, and that can really impact your weekend. I like that, certainly as a commentator and as a viewer, there's loads of action. But here, you've got such a big, long run to the first corner. It really is going to be the fastest driver in the critical point of the event. It's absolutely freezing, isn't it? But
yep.
the fastest, it's going to be the fastest driver that comes to the fore. The person that makes the best starts, gets the best run to turn 1, and then delivers the lap time. So I quite like the fact we come to the conclusion of the season where those harsh variables are kind of out the window, and it's going to be down to pure performance.
Yep, 100%. It will be down to, as you say, whoever's quickest. The only thing is, as well, classic Montalegre. This is my favourite circuit of the year, and that's a big shout because we obviously went to Myriad and Hungary and everything else. But it's an old school rallycross track, and the Joker merge. There's always a bit of action there, isn't there? And then it's just such a long run. It's the last of the late breakers going down into turn 1 as well. We always see loads of action here, and I really hope that it doesn't end up being an accident or something like that. I want to see it go right down to the final in your RX3.
Last year we had a fight between Demi Litvinovich and Espinese, etc., in the final for the title. I would love to see a side-by-side battle at the exit of the Joker to, if one of them ends up in the wall, then fair dues, because they're fighting for the title on the line. But hopefully, I'm impartial, I don't really mind who wins the event, but I would love to see them both make the final, both have great weekends, both score loads of points, and then
both on the front row for the final would do us.
Would be perfect, especially if they've scored the same points throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
RX2E quickly, Niels Andersen, reigning champions. been the class of the field. I think that's fair to say. There's been other drivers that have been pretty quick through the year. Mark Amura's been impressive. Isaac Shukfist, we know, has great pace when he's on form. He's had some down days as well, but has produced good results. Really, Nils Andersen, it's his to lose if he can deliver a strong weekend, but this is Rallycross and there's so many variables.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, really. I think Nils he's been the most consistent, hasn't he? And I think he knows what he's got to do this weekend. It's not job done by any stretch of the imagination, and probably coming off the back of Belgium, the confidence won't be quite as high as it was going into Belgium. But look, he's super experienced. He's been here. He's done it before. I would put my money on Nils Andersen this weekend for RX2.
And finally, RX1, similar position for Patrick O'Donovan, but while Patrick's won all of the events, the 3 rounds, and he has been the pace setter, Yuri Belewski was very quick in Hungary especially, and in Belgium he chased Patrick all the way. Interesting that he chose to follow Patrick in the Joker strategy in the final. Yuri has brilliant pace, we know that. He won the RX3 title here a few years ago. I think, that can be really interesting as well, actually. And in both of their positions, given how competitive RX1 is and how full the grid is, you've got to have a good first heat, haven't you? You've got to get your weekend off on a good trajectory.
Yeah, 100%. And I think consistency across all of the heats is going to be key. I have to say, though, I think Yuri Belewski's had a brilliant year, but in terms of sheer, unadulterated pace, Patrick's kind of been in a class of his own this year, hasn't he? And,
absolutely, yeah.
And I think he deserves to win it. I think Yuri's going to push him all the way to the end. But I think Patrick O'Donovan has been the clear kind of class leader this year in Euro X1.
And I think you also get to a point where Patrick's a young, enthusiastic driver who wants to win every event, and you also need to moderate that a bit, don't you? Because neither of them need to win here. Even if Yuri wants to win the championship, if Patrick has a bad qualifying, he doesn't need to win. And likewise for Patrick. So he's sort of, this championship management type of weekend is so tough, and that is where someone like Johan Kristoffersen is so good. If we move on to World RX quickly, round 7 and 8 I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, of World RX, and we know right high up here in the Villarreal Mountains in northern Portugal, it's going to be difficult for the internal combustion cars with the lack of horsepower, because the air density is very different to the other circuits we've been to.
Yeah, it's very simple, isn't it? You need petrol and air to make power, and the less air you've got available, the less petrol gets pumped in, the less fuel gets pumped into the combustion chamber, and that's less grunt. So when you're up this high, you've got less air. That being said, the internal combustion engine guys will be praying for weather like this, because the air's that little bit thicker. That will help them. If it's really hot, the air's even thinner, and that will accentuate the problem of being thinner air. So they'll have even less power. Certainly, there is a bit of an advantage from a grunt perspective for the electric cars. But Johan Kristoffersen is just so good, and I actually think, on the run down the straight here, that will help the electric cars. Coming out of corners will help the electric cars. But in terms of the rotation and the other side of the circuit, the kind of through turns 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, I actually think the internal combustion engine cars will just be that little bit more. You'll be able to rotate the car a little bit more, make it work a little bit. The extra weight of the electric cars will go against them. So there will be places where the internal combustion engine car will work better. I still think Johan Kristoffersen's the man to be this weekend, despite the lack of grunt.
Quick predictions, who's going to win the 2 World RX rounds?
Johan Kristoffersen and Johan Kristoffersen.
RX1 event winner, not necessarily title winner.
I think Patrick O'Donovan's in a pretty good place, isn't he? I think Yuri will push him, but I'm going to go with Patrick. Yep.
You've already said Nils for RX2E. RX3 champion?
I don't know. I'd like to see Joao have a great weekend, because he's at home, he deserves it, and he has had. Listen, we saw what happened in Hungary. That car in the first heat was in the wall. It was a mess, wasn't it? And then he came back and had a brilliant weekend, kept his championship alive. I don't really care which way it goes, to be honest, because those guys have both had a brilliant year and pushed each other in a really respectful way all the way down to the final round of the championship. So let the best man win.
I'm going to get off this grandstand before you crush it anymore with sitting on the fence. Enjoy your calculator, mate. See you later.
See you later.
It's absolutely Baltic here, so I want to get moving. The rain's coming. Liam, the cameraman's shaking. It's probably coming through on the footage a bit there. Let's have a quick wander around the paddock. We actually have long today, because there's other stuff that needs to be done in the edit truck. But yeah, let's see who we can grab quickly. There's our first victim. She's already hiding, so we'll have to catch up with her quickly. You like that Simpsons meme that's reversing into the hedge?
I try.
Clara, great to have you here as always. How did you feel coming here? This was a really difficult track for you when you first came here because it's such a different circuit to what you were used to from your experience, but you had a great result the first time, and now I think it's one of the circuits you love, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I love this place. This is probably my favorite track on the calendar with Höljes. As you said, it requires so much from the driver. You need to be so precise and smooth in the beginning, but then be super aggressive. So the first time was pretty tough, but now it's one of my strongest, I would say.
You drove this week in Lusada. I think Sea Dealer teams made a big effort to do these pre-event shakedowns and stuff. How much does that set you up for the weekend rather than getting in cold on a Saturday morning?
It helps so much, especially like the testing is so limited. I haven't been in any car since Metet, so it's nice to just get some laps in, get some data for the boys to go over, and I think we found some good things that we will bring out this weekend.
And then, of course, there's this the battle of technologies, but it's going to be interesting this weekend with the power deficit for the internal combustion cars. What are your hopes and expectations from your side?
Well, I hope we will have a good race. For sure, it's not a disadvantage for us, so hope we will have good launches, which sets us up for a good race, but let's see.
How cold are you?
A little bit freezing, yes. I heard it will snow tomorrow.
I think it snowed a little bit earlier, but Chenny didn't agree with me, so I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see.
Thank you, mate. Good luck. Clara, of course, in the demo tent for Sea Dealer team. Chenny and I were lucky enough to drive that car in, where are you pointing to? Say again, mate?
It's like snowing.
It's not snowing, is it? I always look at my coat to see if, there is maybe a bit of snow there. It's gone very like hazy, hasn't it? Of course, this is the famous Paddock in Montalegre, Pascal Lambeck. A lot of these drivers fresh off the back of racing in Loiec last weekend, French Rallycross Championship round. That seat time for Johan Christoffersen will have done him absolutely no harm at all. You want to be snappy here, don't you? So let's move on from Sea Dealer team quickly as we've spoken to Clara. Was it here we did a paddock walk and it was absolutely pouring down rain one? Yeah, we always get extreme weather here. Yes! Launch testing with an RX-1 car, brilliant. Hanson Motorsport, let's have a quick shifty in here. Well, let's have a look in Yellow Squad, see if anyone's about with the Hanson Junior team to start with. Who's on that side? Let's have a look in here. Is anyone about, mate? Anyone here? Let's see who we can grab. Thomas Holman. Nice of you to turn up, mate. It's been a while.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Now, like, it is Portugal. It is going to be. I expected it to be quite good. I'm telling people I'm going to Portugal for the weekend, and everyone's saying like, oh, it's going to be chill. It's going to be warm weather. It was warmer in Norway. 3 degrees in the morning, and I didn't even bring a jacket, so I need to borrow yours.
You didn't. You are not having my jacket. I can promise you that. You didn't bring a coat to Portugal.
It's Portugal. Portugal says sunny weather.
You're a child, aren't you? An absolute child. Speaking of children, Danrick, you've grown up a bit, mate. You're back for the first time this weekend, filling in for Eric Farren, who's not able to be here. How much are you looking forward to being? Well, you are back in the paddock, but working with Isaac and the Yellow Squad team.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Got to blow off the cobwebs a little bit. It's been a while, but I'm sure it'd be like putting on an old slipper. So yeah, ready to get stuck in tomorrow.
Cool, thank you, mate. We've got to be quick in this one. Danrick, of course, 2016 British Rallycross champion in a Citroen DS3. This is Isaac Shukvist's car. That's Molly Taylor, who returns this weekend. Where did Molly race last? Höljes, earlier in the year, wasn't it, that Molly competed here. Let's go over to the Hanson team. Hopefully it's warmer in here than it is outside. Oh, it is actually warmer. They've put the heating on. Who can we grab? Kevin's on the phone. Suzanne. Hello.
Hello, Han.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm very happy.
And you were in Porto the other day, the bit of activation for the event, and wonderful city. It's so nice to be here in a country that really appreciates Rallycross.
Yeah, isn't it? We have really deep roots here in Portugal, and the fan base is amazing. We always feel so welcome when we come here, and the support. And yeah, I'm so glad that we're here again.
Properly knowledgeable fan base as well, aren't they? And I know there's lots of appreciation for the past and the present, and everyone's got old T-shirts and posters and stuff from back in yours and Kenneth's day as well. So it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I was here 1990 the first time down in Losada, And yeah, I've been here so many times. I remember especially one year in 1999. I took Kevin and we went here for his first birthday. So Portugal is special to us for many reasons. Not only that we feel so welcome, but we have like our second home here as well.
That makes me feel incredibly old, I must say. Last time out, brilliant result for the Hansen team. How much of a relief was it to get that result on the first day in Belgium after a really difficult season for you?
Yeah, it's a big relief, and so glad to give some good vibes to the team, because we worked our day and night to try to be in that position. Of course, we took an opportunity when it arose. There is still plenty for us to work on, to catch up and be on the speed we want to, be in the position in performance where we want to. But having that win, made us so motivated. Like, okay, there's nothing we can't do. Let's get the work done. So it meant the world to us, actually.
It's a drug, isn't it? Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah.
We will continue because we don't have a load of time. As I said, it is definitely snowy, sleety type of stuff now. Oh, look who it is. Brilliant. So, yeah, you're drinking coffee all day, mate.
Tea.
Tea, very British. Ross Latkins, we saw you in Hungarian Paddock Walk. Your last weekend of Rallycross before you go off to WEC as press officer there. How do you summarise your time here? You've worked in all sorts of roles within teams and the RX2 for a while, the World Championship for the last few years. How much have you not only enjoyed your time here, but enjoyed being part of the Paddock, which is quite a special place?
I've loved it. Rallycross, it is a special place. Like you say, it's a World Championship, but it's a very friendly World Championship. It's a community, basically. And I came into Rallycross knowing absolutely nothing about the discipline in 2014. And
how is that different to now?
Fair enough. I've learned a lot along the way, made a lot of friends, and been through the highs and lows and seen it rise and fall and rise again. It's been a real roller coaster ride, but a lot of fun along the way. And great, apart from the rain, great to be here in Montenegro as well for my final event, because I love this place. It's an amazing track and amazing atmosphere, and so pleased to be here.
I'm a little bit concerned about you because you're renowned for writing the uber long press release, and we only do 5-lap finals now in the modern era. How are you going to cope with a 24-hour race with WEC?
But I'll arrive on Tuesdays. I'll start writing then. Keep going all the way through and be ready to send roughly by the following Monday. That's the plan.
And the number of reads on that?
About 5.
Thank you, mate, and for everything you've done for Rallycross and the World Championship. You'll always be welcome back in this paddock. Let's have a look in DA Racing. We don't come in here all too often and have a quick chat with who's about. Hello, mate. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah.
Andrea Dubourg, you're a big part running this team together with your father and your brother. How? The car's looking pretty cool, aren't they? Are you looking forward to the weekend?
Yes, the car is ready for this weekend in Montenegro. She was used last week in Loéac, and I think we'll see something good with Julien Febvre, good driver.
Very good driver, French Formula 1 commentator, of course, and you've tested here pre-season with both Anthony and Julien, haven't you?
Yes, they test earlier in the season, and yes, the car was good, the setup is good, and I think we could have a good surprise at the end of the weekend with Julien and Anthony too.
Julian's pace is very good in the French Championship normally, isn't it? And he's when he does odd events that fit in his schedule, and he's always right near the front. So what do you expect from him realistically pace-wise? I know you're going to sit on the fence and say, he can do well, but what do you think is realistically possible?
Julien is a clean and a tight driver, and he should make a good pace in the mud section in Montenegro this week. And if he got the good pace of the mud section, I think he can do something good. And he just need to be careful on other driver because the championship is so tight in the RX, and I hope it will be fair.
Thank you, mate. Great to have you back. These guys are off to do a small photo shoot. This is Julien Febvre's car, Anthony Pelfret, who's been a great addition to the World Championship. Where have you gone, Liam? The shield, there you are. Isn't it lovely? It is similar to last year. Let's grab this guy quickly. Dominic Greiner, team manager for the All Inkle team. Hello, mate.
Hello.
How much is the team looking forward to this weekend? It's been a bit up and down this season for you, but the new car's stunning. Is Rennie ready?
So far so good, yeah. We hope we have some better weather. At the moment it's very cold and wet. But yeah, we are ready. We are fully motivated. Manny and Renee are ready.
You come from circuit racing traditionally, so I guess you're quite keen on the nice sunny dry weekends, aren't you?
I prefer it, yeah.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Nice to hear from someone we don't see very often. Let's just nip in here, Liam, and see if we can find anyone from KMS. Be nice to see the Volon squad as well, actually, wouldn't it? But they're all the way over there. Let's have a peer in here. Who can we grab? Let's come this way, mate. Have a look around. Always try and look for someone a bit different. No one here. There's a massive Niels Anderson. We could just interview Niels Anderson, shall we? There you go. Let me ask Niels what do you think, mate? You going to win? Ah, he's got nothing. Oh, here he is. Here's the real Niels Anderson. I just tried interviewing, but you didn't have much to say.
There.
In personality or in stature?
Just in stature.
How are your shoulders? You, for those that don't know, you dislocated your shoulders in Belgium. Not a big impact, but something you've had going on. How are you now?
I think I'm better. I mean, in the end, it's something that it's really hard to try and replicate how it happens in the car compared when you're not strapped in. There's no hits. I guess the track was a big part of it. Just let's say the trickiness of trying to adapt to the bumps and everything because it's an uncontrolled movement. So I just hope that it will be okay for now, and if it's not, then I have to manage because it's a really important weekend for me.
Reigning champion, you've had great pace this year, wins under your belt, all that sort of thing. Belgium proved that anything can happen in this sport. What's it like coming into this sort of weekend? Last year it was a three-driver fight right to the line and maybe a bit different. Here you come with a margin, but Isaac's quick. There's some variables with some new drivers in RX2 as well. What's the thought process coming here?
First of all, it's a lot easier, I guess, coming here with the title. It's a complete different feeling. I mean, I ended up in Germany last year knowing that this might be the only chance you have at such a possibility. Luckily, this year again, I have the chance to do it. And I guess you tackle it in a different way. I really like to win this championship with a win. So it's quite easy to have that mindset and just try to go for the win because it's probably enough. And just try to enjoy the maximum because it's a really cool track out there.
Good luck, mate.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to watching you this weekend. Let's shimmy on through here. Watch your step there, Liam. See who's about. We're going to interrupt here very quickly. Hello, mate.
Hello.
Nice of you to turn up.
Thank you.
Later, all the Norwegians are late arrivals.
Yeah.
Spotter for OC Veby normally. How are your expectations for OC this weekend on this rally type circuit? But obviously you've got a bit of a deficit with the internal combustion car. What are your expectations?
No, I mean, we're always at the same mission all the time. It's always to do best we can, and I mean the progression so far this year has been really, really good. So I think we'll just continue where we finished last race and keep improving, and yeah. So of course we're aiming for the top of the table. Hopefully we can go past U1 this time. That's the aim, but no, it's always to do as best we can and have a good progression, and especially with this, like you said, rally part of the track. His expectations are quite high, so it'll be interesting to see.
You've had some good memories here in the past working with Petter Solberg and then more recently KMS as well, so good place to come to?
Yeah, definitely. It's still in the back of the memory, you know, everybody have seen, you know, the picture of Petter standing on the roof of the Citroen in front of all the crazy crowd there in Portugal, so for sure it's a great track and good memories. So hopefully we can create some more memories this weekend.
Cool, thank you, mate.
Thank you.
See you later. So many of these people have got so much experience in these different teams, haven't they? Watch this green rope, mate. That's definitely going to behead you. Let's see if Patrick O'Donovan is around, and if he's not, we'll go over to Volland Racing quickly. How long we got, Liam? A couple of minutes. This it better work, otherwise I'm going to look very silly. Who's Patrick about? He's in the motorhome. Let's go this way. Through the awning, smell the fuel from the RX1 cars. Let's... Patrick, can we grab you for a minute? We won't go in. It's full of people. Should do some sort of theme tune. I would love it if you'd fallen over then. Patrick, big weekend for you. You tested here after the Hungarian round. What's your feeling in Montenegro?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. It's currently quite moist outside, so it's yeah, it'll be what it'll be. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've won 3 rounds so far. Heading into the 4th, we've got a nice lead. Just need to keep our nose clean now and try and get through all the heats and see where we end up at the end of that and keep pushing forward.
End of your second full season in this series in RX1. Bit up and down in Montenegro, weren't you, last year? But I guess the test you had here a couple of months ago now probably helps settle that a bit. Is it nice to come to a circuit on your own and just learn a bit about what it's about rather than coming on a race weekend?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, last year was a little bit difficult. I mean, I actually don't remember off the top of my head, but as an encyclopedia of Rallycross, you probably know more than I do. I think it was only one of the first few events I'd done in the car, and I was still kind of learning it, didn't really understand how to push it, but we've learned a lot about the car towards the back end of last season and throughout the off period over it. You know, it was rebuilt by Sam Clennell, and all the boys this year have been working so hard to try and keep improving every time we've gone out. So, no, I mean, I think with the improvements we've made in the car and the improvements I've made in myself, it's a track I'm really looking forward to, and we had a very successful test here about a couple of months ago. So no, I'm just looking forward to getting back out on track. It's a proper rally style circuit when it comes to Rallycross. I mean, it's pretty exciting. There's going to be some massive sense. So.
And some unknowns as well. There's obviously Yuri's quick, we know Lee Matanen's quick, and Mikko Ikonen probably hasn't shown his pace really this year. There's loads of quick guys, but someone having like Julien Febvre here this weekend, who's very fast in the French Championship, there's some variables in the mix as well, so I guess it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the early heats.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I think it's always a little bit difficult when you have people coming in that don't necessarily do the entire championship. They kind of don't have anything to lose, which is it's pretty exciting to watch, but as someone who's trying to race against them, it makes it quite difficult. But I think no, it's always good to have more cars in, and the competition is going to be thick. Of course, Yuri's the closest to me in the championship, but I think the best thing for me at the moment is the fact that the Audi here, from prior experience, has never been the best circuit for that car. So hopefully we're just going to see what we can do. But at the same time, the Peugeots also struggle here because I have so much understeer everywhere. I'm constantly on the handbrake to try and get it sideways. So it's a bit of a give and take, and it's just going to be try and find out what the lesser of two evils is.
Thank you, Patrick. Good luck this weekend. Let's shimmy on down here, Liam. I refuse to run very often, but let's try and get over to Volland quickly because it's only fair to see all of the title contenders before we wrap up. It was requested that this was about 22 minutes. I'm sure it's massively over that by now, but 28 minutes. We're still in the 20s. I don't think we're going to finish in the 20s, mate, because we've got miles to walk. But this is one of KMS's trucks, look, nice and shiny white. All the trucks get washed on arrival, which is very good. Motorhome's down the back there. That's OC Vaby's motorhome on the left, Johan Kristoffersen's motorhome on the right. They don't have an epic 45-minute drive down a mountainside like we do to get to a hotel, but it is good, as long as the arrival time at the track's not too early. The practice starts at 8:30 tomorrow morning or something, so either we get up early or get a wriggle on the way up, but I wouldn't do that. More French cars. Where is Volland? Up here. They're all shut up. Maybe they've gone. Lambeck, of course. Oliveira with the ex-Hansen Peugeot 208. There's so many ex-Hansen Peugeot 208s in the mix. If we get really lucky, we'll get Niels Volland and Yuri Belevsky in one hit, and then we've done every class. Let's have a look. Oh, they're having a team meeting. Do we dare interrupt? No, let's wait. So this is the sort of effort that all of the teams go into. Look, there's a team meeting for the Volland squad. Let's not interrupt. Both of the cars looking absolutely brilliant. Look very similar, don't they? Although the supercar, the RX1 car on the left, is obviously four-wheel drive, but an S1 in theory, whereas the RX3 car is an A1. What a weekend this is going to be. World RX is going to be brilliant, especially with this variable, with the internal combustion engine cars losing around 50 brake horsepower up here in the altitude. RX3 title battle is going to be wild. RX1 and RX2E, there's also so much to win and lose for the drivers. It's going to be brilliant. Make sure to watch everything on Rally TV and keep up with World RX on all of the social media channels.